Hello, 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 everyone. I'm so excited that you chose to join us here in this masterclass today. Your body, your power, understanding your menstrual cycle. Guys, I want you all to be able to normalize your menstrual cycle. That's what we're here for today. I know in society they make it seem like it's a horrible thing. It's nasty. It's just disgusting. So I want to be able to allow you all to come here and learn more about your body so that you can feel more confident within your skin. Okay? So I want you guys to look at me as like, like that cool auntie that you can go to and you can talk to and have those personal conversations with, so I had these conversations with my daughters. When my oldest daughter was in junior high, she had an accident, which most of us have outside of our home. So she needed a pad. So she went to the nurse's station and she got a pad. She came home and she was like, Mom, these pads are like, they're not horrible, but they're not like the ones that we use at school. They need to change more than normal. And some of her girlfriends were having some of the same experiences. So I said, you know what? Let me look into seeing how I can get the girls regular pads. Some people call them sanitary napkins into the school system. So when I started that, I started doing even more research about our female body, the anatomy, the cycle. So I said, you know what? Let me share this. Let me share this because I realized that I wasn't the only one that didn't understand. There were other young girls that didn't understand and didn't even know what exactly the cycle meant. So I'm here today and I want you guys to join me on this phenomenal journey. Remember, we're here and we're going to have fun. Okay? We're going to have fun. So, as I said, your body, your power, understanding your menstrual cycle is what we're coming here to do today. So we already took our deep breaths. So now we're at peace. Actually, we did not take our deep breaths. We're going to now take our deep breaths because I want everyone to feel absolutely relaxed within their skins. Okay. So whenever you breathe in through your nose and you're going to breathe out through your mouth. So when you breathe in through your nose, I want your belly to expand. Okay. When you breathe back out through your mouth, your belly should get flat. We're going to do this 3 times. Okay. I'm going to start you off and count for the first time. And then the other times, I want you all to just keep your eyes closed. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. And we're going to start with the first one. Okay. Does everyone feel a little more relaxed? I hope you do. So now we're going to talk, as we said, about our menstrual cycle. So we're going to start with the internal pelvic anatomy, which makes up what's going on within our body. Okay. So in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the fallopian tubes. Then we're going to go around to the uterus. At the bottom right, it shows our cervix. Then it's our vagina. Then it's our ovaries. So whenever we say menstrual cycle, we have to understand that the menstrual cycle is just what it says. It's a cycle. It's a cycle where the body is preparing actually for pregnancy. So if an egg is not fertilized by sperm, don't feel grossed out. Cool auntie here. If it's not fertilized by sperm, then a pregnancy will not occur. And this cycle will just continue to go on and on and on. Most cycles they last anywhere from 28 days to 32 days. Okay. So the cycle begins, if you see in the right hand corner, it says the menstruation stage. So in that phase lasts about 3 to 7 days. Now in that phase that starts from your first day of your period. Okay. So during that phase, your hormones are going to decrease. So you're going to start feeling like your cramps that you're feeling, your breasts are going to start feeling tender. You're going to start feeling sometimes maybe a little irritable or tired and don't really want to do much of anything. But then you're going to go in your follicular phase. So the follicular phase and the menstruation phase overlap each other. The follicular phase lasts about 14 days. During that phase, you're going to get up, you want to start doing things, you're going to be ready to go outside, you're going to be wanting to ride your bike and exercise, you're going to be full of energy, right? So at that time, you need to take advantage of everything that you want to do. You want to do all the outdoor activities, everything, because you're going to start feeling happy and everything. Because within a 24-hour period, your ovulation phase is going to kick in. And it lasts anywhere from a day or two, right? So during that phase, your hormones, they rise to a peak and then they're heightened. So not for you guys what that first thing says, but you might start feeling a little more discomfort. Those things that you were feeling in your menstruation phase, you start feeling a little more discomfort. Your breasts will start feeling tender again. And then you might feel also some bloating within that phase. So after that phase is the luteal phase, right? The luteal phase is just your hormones are changing even more. It's you might feel a wide variety. In this phase, you might start feeling more anxious and more your mental health symptoms. You start having anxiety and you're still going to be feeling the bloating. You remember whenever you know when you're getting your period is because you start seeing the little pimples that start popping up. That's this phase. So your phases go from, as I said before, they're going to last from anywhere from 28 days to 32 days. So the first day of your cycle is the first day you bleed. Then it's going to go around to all the phases. And the last day of these phases is the day before you get your period. Do you understand that? I'm going to say it again. You're going to start from your menstruation phase. That's going to be the first day that you bleed. You're actually bleeding. Then you're going to go through that process, go through all the other three phases, and your cycle is going to end the day before your period begins, the day before your next period begins. Okay? So I'm not sure. That was a lot that we just covered. So I'm not sure if you want to pause the video. I'm giving you an opportunity to take a little, 5-minute period talk break. That might have been a lot. You're touching bases and it's making you feel a little more uncomfortable. I'm not quite sure if everyone is completely comfortable as of yet, but I just want everyone to feel comfortable. So if you need to pause the video, I want you guys to just take a little 5-minute period talk break. Okay? So the next thing is I want you to understand your journey. So the period normally begins around the ages of 9 to 16. It's a part of puberty, right? So, and it varies for everyone. Signs before your first period, you're going to start feeling emotional. Your emotions are going to be heightened. You're going to have this growth spurt. You're going to grow. All the girls are going to be taller than the guys in the classroom. You might feel a little awkward, but trust and believe the guys will start to grow at a certain point, and then they will begin to be taller than you again. Your breasts, as we spoke before, are going to start growing. That's going to cause them to start feeling tender. So the bleeding actually for your period lasts about 3 to 7 days. On average, it's about 5 days. As I spoke before, your cycles are normally 28 to 32 days. And I want you guys to be able to track your cycles because this is going to help you be able to maneuver through life a lot more easily. You're going to be able to understand exactly what's going on with your body. You're going to be able to understand the mood swings that you might be having, the feelings that you're having, this anxious feeling, these anxiety feelings. You're going to be able to better understand it. At the end of this, I'm going to be able to give you free items. So I'm going to give you free resources at the end. You can just scan the QR code and it's going to take you to all the different links. And the actual cycle is going to be one of those freebies that you're going to get. Okay. So as I said before, it's 2 billion women within this world that are going through the same types of things. Discomfort in social situations where you don't feel like going and being out and about amongst other people. You feel as though you're alone, or you just want to be by yourself in this time. Um, Access to menstrual products is a struggle. There every and one in every four young girls and one in every five women are not able to provide themselves with menstrual products, hygiene products. And then, as I spoke before as well, the anxiety and the depression. There are things that we're going to discuss to help you with the anxiety and help you with the depression, because these things come about due to the hormones and the switching in hormones that our body goes through that we don't understand. So the more and that's why exactly I was saying before, I'm here to help you better understand what your body is going through so that you can better deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is you have to take care of yourself. Self-love. A lot of people say self-care and different things like that. I say self-love. And self-love is not just about going and getting your hair done, getting your nails done, going and taking yourself out to dinner, which all those things are great, right? All those things are absolutely phenomenal. But we're talking about those things to really help you be able to be a healthy individual, which for the first thing we need to get is we need to get rest. We know in this world there's always something going. Everything is fast paced. You know, everybody wants to be outside. They want to be doing a lot of everything and in the midst of everything, but we have to prioritize our rest. That's the first thing that we need to do. We need to eat more nutritious. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, eating healthy is just too expensive. No, there are things that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I know everybody that's watching this knows where the Dollar Tree is. There's certain healthy things that you can get from the Dollar Tree. There's certain things that you can get from your food bank, your pantry, if you're not able to go and purchase certain things. And then you need to stay hydrated. I know a lot of people like Tijuana. I cannot drink plain water. If you want, you can put cucumbers in it. You can get diffusers and you can put fruit in it. You can put lemons. You can put flavor. They have sparkling water, which have no sodium, no water, none of those things, right? And these are the things that we need to be doing. So along with those things that we need to be doing internally with our bodies, we need to also get out and we need to be moving. So we need to move, we need to exercise. And at certain points in your period and your cycle, whenever you're in the menstruation phase, you're not going to feel like going outside and exercising. At that phase, you need to just be walking, right? And your second phase, you're going to be feeling the energy. Remember, your follicular phase, you're going to be energized. You're going to have that energy. That's when you need to do your exercising. That's when you need to do your jogging, right? So then whenever you go into your ovarian phase and luticular phase, that's when you need to just be doing your stretching. You need to do your stretching, but I know sometimes you might not want to. You might feel irritable, but trust and believe that it's going to make you feel so, so much better. So now I want you guys, as I said before, we're going to be focusing as well on our mental health. I want you guys to find someone outside of me, you know, cool auntie. I want you guys to physically go to your aunties. I want you guys to be able to go to your mentors. If it's your parent, then that's absolutely great. I know at a certain age, sometimes though, kids tend to want to speak to someone outside of their parents because they feel uncomfortable with having these situations or having these conversations. So I want you to find someone safe that you can really go and sit down with and talk about the feelings that you're having, the things that you don't understand that are going on with your body. And trust and believe you're not by yourself. Remember, I said there are 2 billion women. I'm one woman. I have two girls. We go through three different phases. They go through two different phases. So you're not by yourself. So I want you to find someone that you can really, really confide in and that you can share and talk to them about these feelings. The next thing is find a movie. What is your happy movie? What is that movie that has you laughing and joking all the time and it has you crying and laughing or laughing till you cry? Like, what is that movie? That's what you need to be watching when you're going through your cycle and you're at those points to where you're feeling down and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling anxious and you're feeling tired. Find those happy, happy movies, right? Or music, whatever music makes you, excited or happy. Play that music. The next thing is, a lot of times what I do is I have to get things out of my head, right? I'm a very visual person. Hence the reason I have all these beautiful pictures for you all here today. Is because I'm a visual person. A visual, it makes me learn better. It makes me understand a lot better about things that are going on. So a lot of times when I'm thinking and my mind is in like overload and I can't really process what's going on, I have to just do a brain dump. I'll get a notebook, I'll get a piece of paper, and everything that's in my mind, I will just write it down. That's called a brain dump. Just write it down and get it out of your mind. Also, a lot of people like to do meditation. I do meditation as well. You can go and I'll link some whenever you scan the QR code at the end. I'll link some meditation videos for you guys. There are different types of meditation videos. There's some where you can just listen to music, you can listen to the ocean. They have what's called black sound. You can listen to some that are guided, which are absolutely great as well, because if you're not familiar with meditation, they actually talk you through what to do. And the breathing techniques, the breathing technique that we did in the beginning to just calm us down and to allow us to be able to go into an uncomfortable situation comfortably. So I want you guys to just really focus on these things here. These mental health um, activities are very, very important whenever you're going through your cycle. So now we get ready to have a conversation about all the different types of sanitary napkins and tampons that you can choose from. They're all different types. So there's pads. If you don't know, they come in different sizes. They come in, if your flow is just light, they have some that are just slim, they have some that are thick, they have some that are overnight, they have some for those days where you're in between. So at the beginning of your cycle is normally when you're going to have the heaviest flow for some women. Some women have a heavy flow throughout their entire cycle. And we'll get into that in a totally different video. But normally, the first couple of days of your period are going to be the heaviest. So you might see yourself using an overnight pad even throughout the day. That's absolutely fine. You might only have to use a regular pad throughout the day, throughout the night. So it just depends on the individual. And it's okay if you have to use multiple different pads to accommodate your cycle, which is absolutely fine. I want you guys to know these things are normal. Whatever it is you're going through, it's absolutely normal. You're not by yourself. Okay. So then we have tampons. A lot of times, if you're younger, you might not use tampons, and unless you are in some type of sports activity, and that's between you and your parent to determine if you're going to be using the tampons, utilizing the tampons. And then we have menstrual cups. So with menstrual cups, if you look over to the right, you'll see something that says "Let it flow," right? That's a menstrual cup, and beside that is a menstrual cup. And the menstrual cup you actually would fold and insert it into your vagina. So someone younger might not really utilize a menstrual cup. Young ladies, women that are on here, you have a choice to use a menstrual cup. You also have, it's called a menstrual disc, which is similar to the menstrual cup. It does the same thing. It actually is like a little cup, like you see. It says "Let it flow," and you see the one that's beside that with looks like it has the blood in it. Those are menstrual cups. So it actually catches the blood that comes down into the actual cup. Okay. So then we have period panties. You will see a lot of young girls like to use period panties. A lot of women in general, I won't just say young girls, but like to use period panties. You can use period panties by themselves, or you can use period panties along with the pads. The thing with period panties is this is something that you have to wash out. So cleanliness, hygienes is something that we have to take very seriously, young ladies, when you're on your cycle. You should take it seriously on a regular basis, but your hygienes have to be taken very, very serious. When you're in the midst of changing a pad, when you're in the midst of putting on a tampon, a menstrual cup, your period panties, you have got to wash your hands first and foremost, and you've got to wash your hands afterwards, especially when dealing with the menstrual cups, because you have to actually remove them from inside of your vagina. Okay, so we take this very, very seriously. Wash your hands before, wash your hands after, and you have to dispose of each item the way they should be disposed of. If you have a pad, you should take your pad, you should fold it, roll it, wrap it in tissue all the way around. Both sides, every side, wrap it into tissue and place it inside of the trash can, not inside of the toilet. It will clog up a toilet. Do not place your pads inside of a toilet. But I want you guys to dispose of it properly. Roll the pad up, cover it with tissue, or they also have the little baggies. If you cover it with tissue just a little, put it inside of a little baggie, tie it up, and dispose of it in the trash can. Okay? Your tampons. We know those come out and they flush into the toilet. Your menstrual cups, normally the length that they last, depending on your flow, you can wear those for a couple of hours. So once you get home, then you will be able to remove it, clean it properly the way it's supposed to be cleansed. The same thing with your menstrual disc, and you will let them dry. Your period panties. You literally have to wash out your period panties. You know how, like, when you get an accident, when you have an accident, is in the middle of the night or during the day, and you have blood that overflows out of your pad onto your panties, onto your pants, how you have to then remove the pad and you have to hand wash out those panties. Okay, it's the same thing with the period panties. All right, so that we understand, cleanliness is next to godliness. All right. So, guys, we have come near the end. I hope everyone has completely enjoyed everything that we have discussed here today. I pray that you learned a lot more than you knew prior to coming into this masterclass today. As I spoke before about looking into pads and sanitary napkins for my oldest daughter's school, it led me into creating a nonprofit as well, because I saw that there's a need for menstrual products and hygiene products and education, even more outside of the school as well. So I created a nonprofit, and the name of our nonprofit is Positive Energy, period. Energy is INNERGY, as in energy. The same way I said I want everyone to come here and feel safe, and this is a safe space. That is exactly what I want to encompass in my business. So with period poverty, it is the lack of menstrual supplies, hygiene supplies, proper hygiene for sanitary places in the community for those women and young girls that are homeless and don't have anywhere to bathe and to wash themselves properly. My nonprofit is an advocate to be able to go to Albany and speak with the politicians to be able to get certain taxes and laws changed around them feeling as though having period poverty, having period supplies as a luxury. As we know, we don't have a choice to have our cycle. It's a biological thing. So, in that aspect, I'm advocating for the right for us to be able to receive free supplies, to receive reduced supplies, for our young girls to receive supplies that are actually able to utilize and to last them outside of an hour without having to change into another pad, to be able to provide those young girls and women within the judicial system proper sanitary products and hygiene products. So Positive Energy, period, is grateful to announce that we have provided supplies to over 3,000 individuals. We have gone internationally. We have supplied supplies in Kenya, in Senegal. As I said before, it's approximately 2 billion women in this world that are dealing with the same things. So one in four young girls aren't able to go to school due to not having the proper hygiene supplies, having the proper pads. Because as we know, you have to be able to feel comfortable with leaving. your home and going throughout a day and knowing that you're not going to bleed over into your panties or your pants that you're wearing. There's 1 in 5 women that cannot work due to the same issues, and this creates a lot of different mental health issues. It creates a negative mindset that young girls and women tend to have due to the stereotypes, due to not being able to leave your home and feel comfortable and be able to be and feel dignified about having your menstrual cycle. These things, a lot of people have to utilize the same tampon all day, which then turns into different types of uterine health issues, infections. There's some young girls and women that use paper towels and old socks. This is what positive energy has been created around. These are the things that we are very passionate about and that we work hard to change. So this is just the beginning. This mastermind class is just the beginning. There are so many more mastermind classes that I have following this. So I want you guys to continue to follow us. What can we do next? What can we do next? Your first period, great food to support your healthy cycle. These are things that we're going to be talking about in the next mastermind class. We're going to dig deeper. This class today we focused on a lot of the basics so that you can understand the anatomy of your body and exactly what is taking place in your menstrual cycle. And then we're going to dig a little deeper. We're going to go deeper into I will teach you about the ovaries and the actual process that the ovaries are taking to be able to form either and develop into a pregnancy, or the lining of your uterus will shed and that's your bleeding. We're going to talk more about that. We're going to break down more of the female anatomy. And we're going to talk more about those hormones that we talked about. We're going to dig deep and dive deep into naming the different hormones so that you can identify them and you can then share them with other people. We're going to dig deeper into hygiene, because it's absolutely important. It is like one of the top important things as far as your menstrual cycle is concerned, the disposal. And we're also going to talk more about period kits in the next course as well. Period kits are something that you utilize outside the home. So we're going to talk about all the different things that you need to be able to have on the go with you while you're traveling. And then we're also going to dig deeper into how to find the balance, in your cycle. Now that you actually know about your cycle and you know that there are different hormones, we're going to teach you how to deal with those hormones, understand those hormones to be able to have a more productive life. Okay. So here are my social media handles. I have a GoFundMe that is going on right now. If you would like, you can scan all the different barcodes. The GoFundMe page is where you can go on and you can support the different fundraisers that we are having. And you can also go to where it says underneath the GoFundMe to be able to find all of the different freebies that I will be giving you guys that I spoke about throughout the course. You can go there, you can sign up so that you won't miss out on anything. You can join my email list, which is very important. And so you can find me on Facebook at Tijuana Shropshire, as you see the spelling. And you can also find me on Instagram. You can scan that barcode. It's positive energy, period. Okay, so take time, scan everything that's here. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. I want you guys to know that I am here for you. I want you to go on and follow me on all the different pages, sign up for the email list so that you can join us on our next course. I pray that you guys had a phenomenal time. I want you to come back and join us so that you can learn more. We can learn more together. And the more you learn, the more you can share, right? So I pray that you were able to learn so much more about your body today than ever before. Love you guys.